I don't have the right.
This is the new intro for the show.
Yeah. I'm working on it. Just.
Yeah, very good. Norwegian wood. Well, that's very good. This is Akmal Unplugged to open today's podcast.
Look, my whole life is basically fooling people into thinking that I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
So all you have to do is just have a couple of intros to some songs.
Yep.
And you just go, I've had enough of this. I don't like this guitar.
Yeah, move on to the next.
Or I gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the time? I better go.
Yeah.
And what they think, you've left them with the impression that you're a master guitarist.
Wow. So you know the intros to many songs.
About 4.
Yeah. So what happens though? You've always got to go at the end of one song. So what if you're at a party, a group of people sitting around, passing the guitar around, it gets to you, but it's still early. But
if
you
it's
get the
still
guitar.
early, I don't touch the guitar. I say, look, it's just I don't play unless I don't think it's out of tune. It's not the right wood.
No.
Different wood. I'm used to rosewood.
I only play Gibson or Maton. You know.
Does anyone have a Gibson?
No.
Oh, you do. Oh, well, not sorry, Gibson, not Gibson.
So I meant Taylor. A Taylor.
Taylor's what I meant.
Yeah.
And so you fool people,
Yeah.
and this has been my whole life.
Great.
You know.
I like this.
Yeah, I do a few good jokes.
But see, you should have kept that till the end of this podcast, though.
Oh no.
You've done a reversal, you're like an expose on your own crafty ways.
Oh yeah, it's come back to haunt me. It's biting me on the ass
Yeah.
as we speak. No, but it's good for people to know. If you are mediocre but you want people to believe that you're not, you can lie.
So this is like, would you say you're the
Trump
the jack of all trades, master of none?
I'm the
would that
I'm
be
the jack off of all trades. I'm sorry, but yes, that's what some people refer. No, but that's the thing.
Let me just move this chair because you moved it for the thing. And they angle the camera.
Oh
for us
yeah,
here,
I got to be in the right posture to play.
Yes.
Me and Eric Clapton have particular idiosyncrasies when we play. You know. And
there was Eric Clapton used to live in Venice Beach in California, and after I'd street perform there, I'd go back and you could see him sitting up in his window at his place.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I remember living in Punchbowl, and across the road you could see a girl in. Oh, no, it's a different story.
Sounds like a more interesting story.
No, less legal.
Does this involve binoculars?
Possibly.
Right, yes.
Well, who are you, the prosecutor? Yes, the Perv Master 2000. You could get it online.
Yes.
You can get it online to perv on people. No, I'm not like that at all.
Well, I was glad I'm wearing my Beatles shirt today.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
Yeah, it is actually. This was this brand called Pretty Green, which Liam Gallagher from Oasis.
Oh yeah.
It's a brand.
So which one is Paul?
Well, I think he's on the back here.
It's on the back.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I wouldn't have picked
this was a present, and
from someone that likes you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah, Steve Byrne bought it for me. Yeah.
But you wouldn't automatically know it's the Beatles. It's just a shirt with birds on it.
With a lot of black birds on it. Yeah.
Did he tell you it was a Beatles shirt?
Well, he did. Yeah.
You still friends?
Yeah.
See, that's he's probably got the same idea as I do. You just lie.
Yeah.
You just pretend.
Yeah, sure, Beatles. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, is that a genuine Jimi Hendrix shirt? Well, it is Hendrix on the shirt.
It was given to me by Jimmy before he died.
Hey.
Yeah. He's 27 and I was 4.
Yeah.
And he said, "Take this thing, man. Take it. It's yours."
Great.
No, he didn't. I bought it from St. Vinny's for $4.
You've been to San Francisco, though, right?
St. Vinny's. I've been to St. Vinny's.
Vinny's.
Different.
You got it for $4 from St. Vinny's. That's a good deal.
Oh man, you do find.
Good work.
I love
Saleh.
working at. I love work. I will be very soon working at St. Vinny's, but I love finding things like that. You can't buy that.
Nice.
That's
and how do you feel wearing a shirt that someone else has worn a lot?
Well, I never really thought about it. With coronavirus, what's the worst thing that could happen? And
I once bought a suit from Vinny's with tails, like a tuxedo with tails.
Oh yeah.
But when I started street performing, that's what I'd wear. So I'd wear like shorts and sneakers and everything informal, but I had the tails.
Oh yeah, that was your look.
That was my look.
That was your look. Yeah.
And but it would it kind of stunk. It wasn't. Yeah.
Did you maybe consider washing it?
Well, yeah, I took it to the dry cleaners. It still stunk, but it was I put up with that for the
Did
you know the
It'd be interesting
wardrobe
to look back and say who owned it, and
Yeah.
you know, there might have
Well,
been
who
someone.
owned the Hendrix shirt? Whose DNA is in that shirt? Who's sweated in that shirt before you?
Yeah, whose cum is in there?
This is like a CSI. CSI.
Yeah, put it
case,
under
right?
ultraviolet
Yeah,
light,
yeah.
and it'd be all sorts of.
Yeah,
horrible things.
that is where you know it lights up purple under the ultraviolet.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that where you do have an ultraviolet light, and that's what's showing on it at the moment.
Already purple.
Yeah,
Purple haze.
yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good for the environment.
No, it's great to shop at Vinnie's, and you find some real interesting, you know, bits and pieces in there. I wouldn't buy underwear from Vinnie's. I've seen underwear at Vinnie's.
Well, if
for
I
sale.
did, I would definitely wash them.
Yes,
That,
beforehand.
like, you know, I'm not big on cleanliness, but that's where I draw the line. In undies. Who did this belong to? No, look, it's you know, when I was young, poor people would go into St. Vinny's and buy all this cool stuff
Sure,
for
sure.
really cheap.
Yeah.
But now they caught on, and it's like really, you know,
Well, especially like Newtown. The one
Yeah.
in Newtown is expensive compared to say if you went to one in like you know
Orange.
Orange.
If you go
yeah.
to Orange or Bathurst,
Yep.
you can get the whole shop for 50 cents.
Yeah.
I'll give you.
You and I got some good deals over the years.
Yeah,
at Vinnie's.
we used
Yeah.
to when we were. Remember when we were on tour?
Yes,
we
when
used,
we used
to
to
work,
work,
and
yeah.
had a purpose in life.
We would go to every town, to the St. Vincent de Paul
Yeah.
or the Salvos, and we'd go in.
Just buy shit.
Yeah, and throw it in a bag, and that night we'd pull it out of the bag,
Yeah.
stuff that we'd forgotten that we had bought, and
Yeah.
just improvise with it to challenge ourselves.
Wasn't
to see.
that fun?
Yeah, it was good
Oh
fun.
man, I remember working
Yeah.
and doing stuff. Remember doing stuff?
It was.
Stuff was good.
Yeah. Well, we did stuff last night.
We did.
We
We
did.
we did for the first time in months. And how rusty was I?
No, you were great, man.
I was
The
rusty. I
audience,
was rusty.
But no, but see, here's the thing. We're talking about this after the gig on the drive back to Sydney. We did Charlestown.
Charlestown.
Charlestown, because I said
in Newcastle.
Now I came out and I said Charleston. They, no, mate, it's Charlestown.
Yeah.
Now I overheard. I think you made the same mistake.
Yeah. Just to piss them off even more.
Yeah.
They don't like getting the.
The town name wrong.
Yeah. You're in our town now, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in. I was touring with Charlie Pickering and a bunch of other comedians many
Was this
years
like
ago.
the best of the Melbourne Comedy Festival
Yeah.
roadshow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And even though it was the best of, Charlie Pickering somehow got on the list. No, great guy. No, he is. He's a lovely man. Not hilarious, but, you know, quite slick and very confident and
Right.
articulate and
Yes.
educated and
Yes.
intelligent. And he is forgetful. So he had this routine about, isn't Karatha a shithole? Because we're doing West Coast.
Right.
And he had this whole routine about Karatha, what a shithole it is.
Right.
But we were in Albany once, and he forgot, he didn't say Karatha, he said Albany.
Oh.
So he's performing to
So
the-
he set up the routine here. I'm going to tell you a story about Albany. Like,
Yeah, he forgot that he
Right.
used Karatha. He forgot that he was in Albany.
Oh, God.
And he said, "Mad, we were in Albany." And people were, "Yeah."
continue.
And what a shithole that place is. And he tells this story of how awful it is. And then he didn't get any laughs, and he gets off and he goes, "Man, that was tough. That was tough." And I said, "Yeah, you said Albany instead of Karatha." Oh, that's why it is laugh. Well, a similar thing happened last night where I misheard an audience heckle you.
Yes, well, I was on stage. I was doing this bit about which I haven't done in ages. I wasn't even planning about Hog's Breath Cafe.
Yes.
And this guy just heckled, like he just yelled out. But it wasn't even really a heckle. It was like it was weird.
It was like you woke up suddenly and just said something randomly.
Yeah, he goes pork bun.
He said pork bun.
Yeah, and I stopped. I made some reference and continued on, and then I stopped. And I thought, "The fuck did he say? What did he say?" And so I said, "Well, what was that?" Well, and he goes, "Pork bun."
Fair
I
enough.
said, "Pork bun." He goes, "Yeah."
I see what
and
you mean.
And I said, "Well, what's that got to do with anything?" And he goes, "That's what it sounds like." And I said, "What sounds like?" And he goes, "Pork bun."
Pork bun sounds like pork bun.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
wow,
all right.
you can rhyme the actual word with the actual exact
with
word.
the word.
You never fail. No, but I was backstage, and the
Yes.
sound's never great from behind the
muffled.
speakers, and I thought he said pufta.
Right.
For some reason, I thought pufta. I haven't even heard that term since the 80s.
No.
Pufta. And so how can you call Joel a pufta, man? And so I got out on stage and just said, "No, Joel is not a pufta." That was my first opening line. In fact, he's a real ladies' man. Ladies love him. And the audience are going, what the fuck's he talking about? And I didn't realize till I got off and talked to you.
Yeah.
I said, I got that guy back for calling you a
No,
pufta.
it's pork bun.
What? so it was one of those moments where...
I love it when it's the opening too.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, it's like
open-
you haven't got a joke yet. You open and they're like, huh?
What?
But
What did he say?
but thankfully they were a lovely crowd.
They were lovely people.
And it was interesting. We drove from Sydney up there, and usually it would be like a few hundred people in that venue, but because of the COVID restrictions, it had been
was
the
100.
100
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
100 was the cutoff.
Yes.
So
We sold out.
We did. Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
Fantastic.
We don't tell people that there's
Yeah.
restrictions. We sell out
We
every
sell-
night
everywhere,
now.
everywhere.
Yeah. 50,
Yep.
sold out.
Yep. And
Two.
the layout was in fact I took a photo of, so anyone that's watching on YouTube can take a look at the photo of the layout
Yes.
of the room, where they basically have two big trestle tables surrounded by chairs like a U shape in chairs, and so it was very spread out, but they were a lovely crowd, so they made up for it. It was,
See, most people watching probably don't realize that being spread out makes it much harder for the comedian because
That's true.
there's less to bounce off.
yeah, and there's less of a unity of an
There's
audience.
less of a
then.
unity. It's like trying to bounce the ball against the wall, but there are holes in the walls, and you've got more chance of getting it. It's not bound, you know.
Not being returned. Yeah.
That's a good analogy. I thought.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
No,
came up with that.
that is good.
came up with
Like
that.
a Swiss cheese wall.
Like it's
And-
exactly.
yes.
Full of holes.
Yes.
And so we had holes last night.
Yeah, but thankfully they were a lovely crowd,
Yeah.
and they were they were
Very
supportive and
receptive
receptive and.
Laughed when I finished talking, and,
Yes,
and
yeah.
then they resumed laughing again.
Yes.
And
No, I could hear the applause and laughter backstage when you were on. It
yeah,
sounded good.
It's a recording I have. To,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
take with me everywhere in case of emergency.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
was,
no, it was good. It was
so
good.
that was that was good, and we had a good. I was thinking last night on the drive up and the drive back, that could have been a podcast in itself, like with what we talked about and what we were chatting about.
Yes,
Yes.
remind me.
So
I'm old, Joel.
Yes.
My memory's going. And
yeah, well, we're just talking about what's happening in the world at the moment with
with Trump.
with Trump and his soups.
Oh, Trump,
yeah,
man, he's
and the soup
he's
being
a-
thrown at.
It's
the,
like watching the leader of the free world slowly turn into a cartoon character. He's like a I don't even think of him as real anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, he's just lied so much that people go, oh fuck, just
keep on going.
keep
whatever.
on going. Whatever
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know, he's become desensitized.
Well, it's like a fog. It's hard to see through to see
But
where the reality lies, or
if you lie,
if there is any.
Well, if you lie once, you could get into trouble. You can get impeached.
Yeah.
But if you lie every single day of your, presidency, then,
Yeah.
then people go, "I hear him again."
Yeah, it's,
So
it is interesting that noticing that if there are so many lies, then it just becomes just one big whitewash.
Well,
It's
you
like
just
who
don't-
knows?
yeah,
Like
who knows? And people stop caring. You know, he is so dysfunctional and bad that someone like Kanye West thinks, and his drug haze thinks, "Fuck yeah, I could be president.
yeah.
I could be. Why
I
not?
could do that. Why? Yeah.
Why not? Anyone can. You know.
Sure. Well,
It's,
this is proven anyone can.
Yeah, Kerry Ann Kenley for president. Anyone. You know, like the Tim the Weatherman.
Yeah.
Like, he's going for president.
Yeah.
Why not?
Tim Bailey.
Tim Bailey.
What happened to Tim Bailey? Is he still around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's still around. He's not on TV anymore.
Right.
As far as I know, he's still around. You know,
Okay.
just he's still doing weather, but
Yeah.
to himself.
Yes. Yeah.
He's
He's just
well,
standing
it's
on
a
the
chilly
street
one this
corner.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know what he's doing. You know, what do you do when you lose your job as a weatherman?
As a weatherman. Yeah.
You just go and busk and say, "Do you want to hear the weather tomorrow?
Yeah. No, not really.
Don't touch me.
Yeah.
Get away from me." There's a tomorrow will be sultry
Yes.
with a no, I don't believe you anymore because you're not on TV.
Yeah.
You're just a mental
Yeah,
person.
you take away the TV,
I don't
all
care.
the power's gone. I remember he was years ago when Guns N' Roses came out and played Eastern Creek.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember there was it was being televised, and I was so excited. I go, I'm going to watch this because I couldn't go. I was too young to go by myself. And
Yeah.
And it was a televised all the way up with Tim Bailey going, the concert's about to begin. And then as the concert began, then the broadcast stopped. So it was just me listening to Tim Bailey talk about how great the concert's going to be.
Live from
Eastern Creek.
Tim
Yeah.
Bailey and his weather. It's I mean, I can see it being sort of a challenging job, but if you lived in Singapore, you go, it's hot again. It will be
Yeah.
hot tomorrow
Yeah.
and tomorrow and tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All you have to do is record that once.
Repeat it.
And they just,
I remember years ago, Bobcat Goldthwait came out to Australia. I remember he had a routine about that saying. He goes,
Now let's explain who Bobcat
Now,
Goldthwait.
Bobcat Goldthwait, he was very funny. He still is a funny comedian.
He was in Police Academy.
Yes, he was best friends with Robin Williams.
Yes. And he talk like this.
Yes.
Oh, you crazy.
Yeah.
That was his. But then we met him in Melbourne.
Yes.
And we were expecting him to talk like this.
He's just normal.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
All
He's
right.
actually a thoughtful kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I remember he had a bit about the he said he would hate to be a weatherman in Melbourne when he's just, and he's doing the act out of reading the weather, and basically the weatherman just has a mental breakdown, trying to figure out whether it's going to be raining or sunny or
5 minutes later. Oh, it's snowing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 30 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh, was it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's better than what I did then just before.
Yeah.
I would have. Yeah.
He's trying to figure out what to wear, what to tell people what to wear.
Yeah.
And I remember he had a bit too. It was similar to a bit that Bill Hicks did, when he said when they had the war with Iraq, and he said this was the first war back in the 90s.
Yes, yeah.
And he said, I'm glad that it wasn't a hand-to-hand, land contact. He said you would have had people, US soldiers running around going, damn, which tank did I just get out of?
Yeah, they're all made in the USA.
Yeah. Which the Bill Hicks take on that was, if they wanted to find any weapons of mass destruction, the US should just look at their receipt book.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good line.
Yeah.
I wish we were that clever. Well, I wish I was that clever.
But Bill Hicks came out to Melbourne and he did the festival and he had a miserable time.
Well,
the Australian audiences just didn't warm to him, and he just wasn't,
He was on Hey Hey Saturday.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know Bill Hicks,
yes.
He was a really hardcore political social commentator, really clever and complex, and he was on Hey Hey Saturday with the ostrich.
Yeah.
Like Bill Hicks, one of the greatest comic minds.
Yeah.
Is on with Daryl Summers and the Wheel,
yes,
where they give saucepans and stuff. So it was the wrong
and Pluck
show.
a Duck,
and no one got him.
No,
saying, he's talking about stuff that people go just bring Pluck a Duck back on.
But he was he'd clearly read a lot of Noam Chomsky. He had a lot. He was very, very influenced by that way of thinking within his stand up, and I remember he had a lot of great material. I remember he had one album called Rant in E minor, and it was great. I remember I listened to that a lot back in the 90s.
Yeah, no, he was very good, but there's no one like that. We were talking about this yesterday too. Like, there's no one who stands out anymore. No one who's challenging the system. No one's challenging the norm. Not just in comedy, but like you were saying,
like a George Carlin or someone.
Well, like a George Carlin. There's no real George Carlin anymore, or Richard Pryor. But even in the acting, there's no Catherine Hepburn.
Oh yeah, in terms of I was talking to my mate Steve Byrne was talking about.
Steve Byrne. How is he?
Great comic. He's moving to Nashville. Yeah,
okay.
And but he's he was just saying how Hollywood, how it doesn't have the cachet that it once did. Like there was like who is like the big Hollywood star now, like back in the day.
Harvey Weinstein. He's pretty big.
Yeah, well, we saw what happened to him. But it doesn't have that that old sort of grandiose kind of magnetism to the town anymore.
The majesty,
you don't have a Cary Grant or even like Tom Cruise, he's probably the last of
Tom
those.
Cruise.
Well, like of a Hollywood blockbuster,
but he's not a leading man. He's not in.
Well, no, he's not a leading man.
He's not. He's not.
Maybe George Clooney. Maybe he was the last of that kind of.
Not even. No.
Who would you say was the last? Jack Nicholson.
Robert De Niro.
Jack Nicholson.
De Niro, Nicholson, Brando.
Yeah.
Even Al Pacino to a lesser extent. But see, the greed gets to people, right? And they go, Robert De Niro, you're one of the greatest actors of 20th century. You're in Taxi Driver, some of the most iconic films.
Yes.
Do you want to do Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Yeah.
Do you want to be Bullwinkle? Well, yeah. How much? 20 million, sure. And so they sell their souls, and then you forget all the great stuff they've done.
But in a way, I do like how De Niro just does these weird leftist. It's like Bob Dylan doing a weird left to centre move.
No, it's different. He just wants this 10 million.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Gimme. 10 million.
What, so you don't think he did the American Express commercial for creative
the American Express thing. Yeah, he probably loved the American. Yeah, he wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying, this is one of my, forget Taxi Driver. Watch me.
But
sell.
but yes, someone like an Audrey Hepburn or of that,
Yeah, yeah. You know, people who don't sell out and just maintain a stature. You know, who's in Australia? Like, you know,
Well, who would be the equivalent
Carrie
here?
Ann Kenley.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I was thinking of someone else. Carrie Ann.
Yeah, who would be of that? Well, we do have great, like people like Hugo Weaving,
Yeah.
Jeffrey Rush. You know,
Jeffrey Rush.
You know, there's some good.
Yeah.
You know, Jackie Weaver. She's a great actress.
She's a good.
You know,
yeah.
there are some.
Toni Collette.
Yeah, she's very
pretty good.
Kate Blanchett.
Blanchett always seems the same to me.
Very
It's always the same
in a lot of roles.
Where's your acting? Why don't you do some acting?
Yeah.
Try acting.
Yeah.
Don't be Blanche.
I saw her in
what's her name?
Blanche Dubois. She played Blanche.
Oh, she did. Yeah.
I saw her in Uncle Vanya.
She always looks like so.
Yeah.
She always looks like she needs a good shit.
Yeah.
She just looks constipated, you know. And so does Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman's always Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Compare, say, Nicole Kidman to Meryl Streep, who is.
Yeah, Meryl's. But that's another caliber. Meryl's like she's a one of a kind.
But you see, why is Nicole Kidman in every single film that is ever made ever in the history of filmmaking? Why? She's connected.
Yeah.
To the Illuminati.
You reckon?
Yeah, her father was a pedophile.
I remember you brought this up once before.
I know. You should check it out.
I did some research. I looked online.
Yeah.
There is there is evidence that supports what you're saying.
And then he died.
However, I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
I do. Luckily, I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, she's connected, and so she, she does all these satanic shit. And
you reckon? No, there's nothing.
Let's just go with that.
I didn't read anything about that.
No, but they don't publish that.
Oh,
They didn't say, no, don't mention that.
So where did you hear about this?
From
Frank,
a guy called
in Byron Bay.
A guy called Barry.
Yeah.
Told me everything, and I trust him.
Her husband seems like I don't listen to his music, but he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, well, that's
Keith Urban.
Keith Urban, exactly. Keith Urban is. He seems like a nice guy, but that's where they fool you.
Oh,
you see?
Really?
Yeah. He seems
so I've been
nice.
fooled.
Yes, you have. Okay. He seems nice for a Satanist, for someone who sacrifices children. I don't want to be slanderous because I wouldn't say.
Of course not.
Look, I wouldn't be saying this unless I had absolute proof.
And what is your proof?
Well, I can't share that with you now, because I haven't, got to go back and
look through the files.
Look through my notes. I got notes.
Now, what are your thoughts on all of these conspiracy theories that are rife on Facebook and online? Because I watched this documentary.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I'm fascinated by it.
Yes, but I watched this interesting documentary. It's a new doco on Netflix called The Social Dilemma.
Yes.
And it's about how Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, these social networks having an adverse effect on humanity as a whole.
What adverse? Maybe.
But a lot of the people that are interviewed in it are the original creators or people up high in Twitter and
they distract
Facebook.
the masses.
Yes.
So most of it is bullshit.
But the amount of misinformation, they said that a conspiracy theory is 6 times more likely to spread than the truth than
coronavirus
online.
Yeah.
And that's having a real impact on.
But see, look, you have to be open-minded to say that maybe like there's 20 conspiracy theories. There might be 15 are bullshit, complete rubbish.
Yeah.
And then 3 of them have got an element of truth.
But then unfortunately those conspiracy theories take away from that element of truth,
right?
Right.
But they do it intentionally.
Right.
It's called misinformation. So the 9/11 thing, right, is like the building 7 that fell just out of fear.
Yeah, fell over.
It got scared and it collapsed. Nothing hit it. No plane, nothing. Fell exactly in the same way. So you start questioning that, and there's all these misinformation out there that they
within that.
The people who sort of are behind it will throw in a lot of bullshit stuff. So you read one bullshit thing and they go, it fell because of aliens, for example.
Right.
And they go, this is clearly bullshit. So they throw that among there is an element of truth somewhere,
right?
And you have to decide which is true.
All right, so there's a lot of work to be done.
A lot of work
And-
to be done. I'm not going to do it because,
No.
I need a nap. But that's the thing when I lived up there, where all the conspiracy theorists are. And they're all revolutionaries.
Yeah.
They're all like armchair.
Armchair revolution.
Yeah, because, man, we've got to get up and we've got to do something. We've got to change the system. We've got to start a revolution. But first, I'm going to have a nap.
Yeah.
I'll start the revolution if it's, before midday, I can't do anything. I've got to have my coffee.
Yeah.
And then I might, but probably I won't.
Yeah.
Well,
I would imagine during this time there's been a lot more interest put into conspiracy theories.
Well, but people
and
have
into
time on their hands.
Yeah.
That's right. That's and so when you got nothing, that's when and being comedians, even when we were busy, you still had a lot of time to look at this. Did we land on the moon? I think I'll spend the next 4 months
looking at that. What about the flat earthers?
The flat earthers.
What are your thoughts on that? The flat earth theories.
Well, I think
I've never really looked into them, but
no. I think they're insane.
Yeah.
The flat earthers.
Yeah.
How could their argument is, if you look, you can't see the curvature of the earth, but if it's flat enough, you can clearly see.
But it's been proven before. I saw this documentary where they had the helicopter on the horizon, and the helicopter was still there, but it went out of sight.
Yeah.
And they did all these tests to prove that, But then again, what do scientists know, right?
Experts.
Yeah.
What do they know?
Experts? It is kind of crazy that the way that truth, though, when the facts are presented, how they're just dismissed so easily now by people.
Well, yeah.
But
there is this force that basically it says that if you challenge the official version of what happened, no matter what the story is, you're a loony, you're crazy, you're an anarchist, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
And so that's how they bully people.
Yeah.
So
and they put those people in the same camp of extreme conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, you're all nutters.
Yeah.
And that's how they get away with it.
Yeah.
Wait on, a commercial jet hit the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Hit the Pentagon.
Right.
The building with more cameras than any. And
there's no footage.
There's no footage.
Yeah.
And no footage. We don't have any footage.
Yeah, we lost it.
And
actually,
there were no witnesses.
The plane went into the part of the Pentagon where they had the footage. The computer that recorded all the footage.
It blew up.
That's where the plane.
Yeah.
Has that theory been brought forward?
It has now.
No, yeah, well, I just thought of that now.
A lot of Americans watch this show that we're doing here.
But clearly, there were people on planes that went down that were, there's we share a friend in comedy that was on one of
his
the
mum.
Yeah,
his mum, not him.
Simon
He's
Kennedy.
still alive. Yeah,
and Simon wrote a book about that too.
That's right.
And so I just I feel for someone like him. When
but no one's saying that the planes went real.
Right.
Or no one was saying that people who were on the plane who bought a ticket on that plane didn't really die.
Right.
We just say there's certain things that are just not quite right about it.
Yes, and I agree. A lot of things don't add up with with that whole situation.
Something went wrong somewhere, and we're not being told the truth. We assume that if it's on TV, they've got to be telling us.
Real.
Nah, it's not. It's bullshit. No. Most of it. If you assume that everything you read is bullshit. That great.
But that's a good approach, though.
Question everything. It's a great Stephen Wright joke. Wish I'd thought of it. See, he went through a stop sign. Police stopped him and said, "Hey, you just went through a stop sign. Why'd you do that?" And he said, "I don't believe everything I read." That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
That's brilliant. I'm just not that clever. But yeah, it was the 20th anniversary, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Just recently.
Yeah, just recently.
September.
Yeah, September 11th.
September 11th. Yeah.
I wonder what year they're going to admit to people. Go, look, okay.
This is what happened.
We did it.
No, nothing's ever going to be admitted. Remember when they had those files on JFK?
Yeah.
The truth is going to be revealed. There's nothing that came out.
Bullshit.
The files, the redacted files released, nothing.
There are people who go, yeah, give them that. They'll tell them that was it.
Yeah.
And then, come on. No.
So it's, I think, with all of this stuff, it's interesting, but there are more important things as well to be focusing on in the world.
Such as?
Well, on getting on with life and,
Oh, yeah, but life can include some conspiracy theory research.
But yeah, sure, but you can go down the rabbit hole with a lot of it too. I think.
No, I don't like rabbits.
No.
We used to eat rabbits in Egypt.
Yeah,
we used to have them, and my grandmother would slaughter them in front of us. Yeah, that's why.
There were a lot of rabbits on the streets in Egypt.
No, not on the streets. No.
Oh, so you just buy? what, from a store and then slaughter it, or how are you?
Just that you kind of get a rabbit the way you would normally get a rabbit. I don't know. I can't remember.
Do a magic trick on the top hat? Yeah.
It comes out of top hats.
Yeah.
There's a magic shop that used to sell the rabbits.
Now, you grew up when you were a lot younger, looking out off your rooftop at the pyramids.
This is true. We lived in an apartment block in Cairo, in the center of Cairo.
Yeah.
Cairo
Now, did you have like BMX bikes and things?
No BMX.
Because I'm just picturing you with your mates jumping on a BMX bike and taking off to the pyramids. Like you could walk out to the pyramids, right?
No.
How far were they?
I was young, like I was 9, so it would have been a long way. But you could see it because they're so big. We'd get on the roof, and you can see it clearly on a clear day. The pyramids and the Sphinx, like there.
Wow.
And it's really, and so when I came to Australia, and the first time I saw the big banana, it was hard for me to get impressed.
Yes.
That was there, and it's not even that big.
No.
The big banana should be called the adequate banana.
Yes.
It's just big enough.
Yeah, it's big enough.
Yeah. The big enough banana. That was a long time ago now, but I remember that very clearly. It's different, surreal.
But do you think you would have, because when you moved out here, your parents didn't tell you that you were going to be moving out here?
I know, my parents are hilarious.
They said you're going on a holiday, pack your bags. And now,
they're wacky parents.
Would you, looking back on it, would you have preferred to have stayed in Egypt or come to Australia?
No, come to Australia.
Yeah.
Because I would have been imprisoned or punished or tortured, or I would have been, I don't know what I would have done because I'm not academic.
Because there was a comedian in Egypt that was reprimanded by the...
Yeah. There was some politician in the audience, and he said something like, it's something really stupid, innocuous, and he got arrested the next day. His career never recovered. They planted pot on him, or he had pot, I don't know. But either way, they just ruined his career because he was rude.
What was his name?
Saeed Saleh.
Saeed
No relation.
Saleh,
Right. Saeed Saleh.
Saleh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was brilliant, like a brilliant. Like he is the Egyptian Richard Pryor, or George Carlin. Yeah, he was that.
Where is he now?
He's dead now.
Oh.
He's dead, but he was all. I mean, when I was young, he was famous. So, and he said.
So, what style of comedy was he on TV?
The comedians in Egypt, what they do is they write a little play, and he's the star of it, and they can ad lib around that and talk to the audience and then get back to the story.
Right.
But the story is very thin.
So would it be like a one-person play, or was it an actual play?
An actual
ensemble?
Story, but the story doesn't matter because he goes off the script all the time.
Right.
There's no stand-up as such, but that's how they do it. So and then
there would be stand-up now though in Egypt. Right?
Yeah, there is now.
So, but this was back in the 70s.
This is for the masses.
Right.
The stand-up that's there now is for the rich, kind of upper classes, educated, well-to-do. And I went to see it, and they talk political, and they're taking big risks.
Oh yeah.
Well, the thing is, you could talk about Scott Morrison and say he's a fuckwit. Scott Morrison is a fuckwit. In fact, I've just said it.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen.
But if you said Mubarak...
or Sisi. This guy Sisi now is a fucking dictator. Horrible. If you said even if you were rumoured that you'd said something on stage that was derogatory to the government or to the president or to the army, you would just disappear.
Really?
Yeah, so that's it. When you have a bad night as a comedian in Egypt,
you really die.
You're there on a metal bed with electrodes on your testicles, and you go, it was a bad night. It didn't go well. It didn't go well at all. I mentioned the president. What a fuckwit.
So, and when you say they disappear, are they ever seen again, or do they eventually come back and they're in a
they
camp
vary.
somewhere?
Look, what they do, and this is typical of a totalitarian regime, and the Chinese do it too, and they call it re-education. So they take him and they beat the shit out of him for a year, non-stop, and then you come out and you say, I have to apologize. And that's what happened to Saeed Saleh.
So he did come back. So he disappeared for a while.
Did
he ever say what happened? Where he went?
He was a big guy. When he came out, he was like scrawny,
really?
and his spirit had been broken, and he apologized to the president and to the army, and whatever, on TV, and then never heard from again. That was it. They destroyed his career. So,
So when did this happen? This
is in the 90s.
90s, right.
Yeah.
And do you know what it is he said?
Yes. He said to this woman, Oh, yeah. No, he was pretending to fish. He was saying, "I'm fishing for women. I'm fishing for women."
Right.
And this woman yelled out, "You're being rude." And he goes, "Shut up, bitch. You that's what you've come here. You've come to hear rude things. So shut up."
Yeah.
She ended up being a congressman's wife,
Oh boy.
very powerful, and a lot of there's no you can do anything. You can say, "I want this guy killed," and they would have him killed. And so that's what happened. It was just unlucky that
Yeah.
she was a powerful, and it's a thing in these countries, man. The more power you have, the more you can get away with anything. Just like America, really.
But did anyone question it? Like in the public, go, "Hang on, what's
Well,
happened
you
to our
can't.
favorite comedian? Where is he?"
There was a little bit of that, but everyone's scared. Like you go, it was more like it's the same when Jesus got arrested. All his disciples went, "I don't even know him."
Yeah, yeah.
Him, Jesus. What was that? Jesus? No, I never. I vaguely know about him, but
Yeah.
disciple? Fuck no, no.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to be crucified.
Right.
That's fair enough. I don't want to be. I would have denied him as well. Because that looked like being crucified looked like it would hurt a lot. So fuck that. Just deny him and then apologize
Yeah.
later or ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
But to how'd we get onto that? Yeah.
But it is, so that I can see you definitely would have disappeared very quick in Egypt.
Because I got a big mouth and I don't think before I speak.
But when you went over there, you made a documentary in
Yeah,
Egypt.
I did,
And you were followed over there when you were
Well,
doing
no,
that too.
man, the first day, this is true. It's not particularly funny, but it's interesting. Me and my wife and a friend of mine went to film it, and
Now, what was the purpose of this documentary?
well,
that you were returning
if you
to?
don't know, a big revolution happened because there was all these people getting arrested, and the police could do anything to anybody, anytime, and you got no recourse. And then this kid was a young man was saw these cops doing a drug deal, and so he filmed them on his phone and then published it online.
Right.
And then they found out that it was him, and they grabbed him and tortured him and killed him. And then his photos, they left him on the street to die, and his face was all crushed up and stuff, and that's what sparked the whole thing. People went, "Fuck this."
Beginning of the Arab Spring.
That was the beginning of the Arab
Right.
Spring in Egypt.
Right.
And people went, "We've had enough of this." And everyone has been abused by policemen or taken in and tortured or beaten for no reason or asked for a bribe. They're all criminals. And then everyone went in the street, like there was 5 million people in the streets.
I remember it.
Yeah, it was really, and so we went to film that. And
So you just felt compelled, like you thought, I have to go over there and document this.
Yeah, I really wanted to.
Yeah.
I was a fucking idiot because I could have died quite easily. I didn't realize the second day we were there, the first day we got there, it was like so hot and we're in this hotel and said, let's just chill out and then go tomorrow. Went tomorrow. The next day we get there and there's this building, that government building. It's like a 30-story building just burnt. And so you just see this hollow building with the occasional like desks and stuff. That what was there was all black. Like, if I'm gonna take a film that, and I'll be standing in front of it, and we're filming, and suddenly these coppers come. They go, come here, cross the roads, and it's really hard to cross the road in Egypt. It takes you like half a day.
Yeah.
These cars will see you trying to cross, and they'll speed up towards you. It's a real challenge.
Yeah.
And we went over there, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh no, we're just tourists. Is that okay if we film? It doesn't matter if it's not."
Yeah.
He goes, and he pulls from the back of his pants. He pulls out a gun, and me, Kate, and this guy Trevor, who's a friend of ours, and he pulled it, and he goes like this.
What?
Yeah, points it to my face, and then puts it back in. Didn't I ever tell you this?
No, I didn't hear this.
And I went, like this for a second. I thought he was going to shoot me.
Yeah.
And he says, if you want to film it, it's £20. So we took out £20.
£20 for your life, yeah.
Well, £20 is like $1.
Yeah.
$2
Right.
Australian. We gave it to him, and they were happy, and they said, "Okay, you can film, but not for too long. That's enough. Wrap it up." And then another time we were caught in the middle of a riot. This taxi driver said, "Oh yeah, you can't." I said, "Where's?" We wanted to just film like the Nile and stuff, just establishing shots, just to get just to ease
some
into it.
Yeah.
And he goes, no. There's 10,000 people protesting outside the TV station, which is owned by the government. 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Bro. He goes, wow, we're going to take that.
Yeah,
Let's film that. Let's film that. So anyway, we get out.
No permits, no nothing.
No, but I said to the guy, to the taxi driver, I said, is it okay to film? Are we going to be safe? And he goes, mate, if you get in any trouble, he wouldn't have said mate, he wasn't Australian, but I can't do it in Arabic.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm very well known in this city. If you get in trouble, just say, I'm with Muhammad.
Yeah.
You know how many Muhammads there are in Egypt?
Yeah.
And I, like an idiot, we all believed him.
Yeah.
We thought, oh yeah, he seems to know what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, I hadn't been to the country for so many years, not during a revolution. Yeah. And we get there.
This is like a synopsis for or the premise for a comedy. You know, put Akmal Saleh in the middle of a cultural revolution.
Yeah, there you go.
And the antics, the hijinks
and
will
the laughs
unfold.
will never stop.
Yeah.
The antics. What's Knucklehead up to now?
So you went to...
Because he drove right onto the pavement where the protests were. Like we were in the middle of
this cab. So
in
he's
this
like,
cab.
meep, driving through the people to get into the middle
He
of it.
drove into the people.
Yeah.
And my friend who's really cool, he does like extreme sport films and stuff.
Right.
And he's just focused on what he does no matter what's happening.
And he's filming all this?
Well, he got out and filmed.
Yeah.
And within 30 seconds, people see him and they got this idea that journalists are their enemy. So all this trouble that they are experiencing is because
But your friend is white, right?
Yeah,
so they
he's white.
think he's like a Western journalist.
That's right.
Okay.
And he's got a fancy camera and he's got some sound gear and so this is journalism.
Yeah.
And they started running towards us and the taxi driver now you'll go and get into trouble.
You're with Muhammad.
You're with Muhammad. If you get in any trouble, he went from that to get in the car, quick, get inside. And we get inside and we close 3 doors.
Yes.
And one guy put his foot in the door.
Oh.
And it was Kate's side, and she's
no.
trying to close the door. She was a bit slow.
Yeah.
And he's going, no. And they're rocking the taxi.
Oh.
And I'm sitting, and we're still jet lagged.
And they're surrounding the car.
They're surrounding the
car. So he can't drive away.
No. And this is what happened. This guy, this is all true.
Yeah.
And we got this on film. This guy reaches out, takes the key of the
no.
ignition and pulls it out. So we're stuck, right? And everyone's around us. And this guy goes, you.
To you?
Yeah, because you're Egyptian. I said, yeah, but we're just tourists. We're not here to cause trouble.
Yeah.
We just want to,
You said this in Arabic?
Yeah. Well, in English would never.
Yeah.
That would have been shot. Yeah. But he goes, I said, we're just tourists. He goes, all right, well, give me your passport.
Oh, no.
Now the guy that pointed the gun at me before, this is like half an hour before.
Yeah.
He asked for the passport, and once he saw the passports, he was cool. Gave it. So I had that in my mind.
Oh.
This guy was a nobody. He was just a protester. And he goes, show me your He goes, you're a journalist. I said, I'm not a journalist. He goes, yes, you're a journalist. I said, I'm not, I swear. And I was really nervous.
Oh, no. What was Kate doing?
She was calm.
Yeah.
She was really surprisingly calm. And Trevor was calm. I'm the only fucking idiot who said, what's going to happen? And this guy, and so like an idiot, I give him my passport.
It's random.
Well, I didn't know it was random. And I was panicking like it was happening so quickly.
Yeah.
But I feel stupid now. I give him the passport and the guy takes it and runs. And Trevor goes, what the fuck did you do that for?
Oh, no.
So he asked me for it. He goes, he asked you for it. Shit. And this is meanwhile they're punching the glass and they're rocking the cab. And anyway, we were just sitting there. And in the cab, just with all the windows shut.
Yeah.
And suddenly these military police come over. And the guy's there with the passport.
Oh, he got the passport?
Yeah. Well, he took it to the police, to the military. Military guys, and they come in. There's like 3 of them. One has got a machine gun on the back of his shoulder there,
Yeah.
and he goes, "You're a journalist?" I said, "No. We just got here in Egypt.
Yeah.
Like check when we came in. So we've only been here for a day, and we're just tourists." And he goes, "All right, get out of the car," and he's got a machine gun. And he gets up, and Trevor's got the camera, and the big guy, comes in and grabs the camera and pulls it off him, and Trevor says, "No."
Yeah.
I'm going, Trevor, give him the camera.
Yeah.
Like he's got a machine gun, and if he shot you,
done. Yeah.
Done.
Who cares? It's another fatality in the riot.
completely.
Yeah.
Oh, he was threatening me. Oh, he shot. What was he doing there in the first place? Could have easily killed him. And I'm going, Trevor, give him the fucking camera, man.
Yeah.
And so he took the camera finally.
Please tell me Trevor took Yeah, sorry, go on.
But there is footage.
Okay.
There is
all right,
footage of
okay.
us getting out of the cab.
Okay.
And he goes, all right, you're under arrest. You're under arrest, all three of you. No, he goes to me. He goes, you're the one. You're the journalist. I said, I'm not a journalist. I'm not.
Yeah.
If I was going to show him my act, but that would have got me arrested even more. I would have been executed. I said, look, I'm an entertainer. We're just trying to make a small film about the revolution. I'm talking to him. He goes, no, you stay here. You come with me. And Kate...
Did you have a phone on you at the time that could show Google and say, look, I'm a comedian? Or was there...
Everything was happening so quickly.
Right.
And we're in Egypt suddenly, and it's 50 degrees, and there's 10,000 people, and about maybe 300-400 are circling the cab. And he goes, you come with me. And Kate said, no, I'm not going without him.
Yeah,
I'll come too.
Good.
And Trevor said, no, I'll come too. I'm going to stay by myself.
Yeah.
He goes, all right, all three of you come in. There's two cops behind me, two military guys, and one guy in front of me with a machine gun.
Yeah.
God, what the fuck am I doing here, man? I
Yeah,
should have just stayed at home, did some gigs, and just and we go in this holding thing, just sitting there for ages.
What, like a van or something?
No, like we were on a bench, and it was like a police station.
Oh, in a holding cell.
Yeah, like a holding cell, and we're sitting there for an hour. We're going, what the fuck? He's got the camera. It's our second day. We're fucked. You know, all this, the airfares, everything is gone.
Yeah.
We may not even be able to go home.
Yeah.
And about an hour later, they come back, and he goes to Trevor, I can't turn it on. Can you turn it on? He goes, oh, okay. He shows him, and luckily, he'd only shot like 30 seconds of, he shot people coming at him, and that was all there was.
Yeah.
He goes, all right, you go.
What about the other tapes of the building and that was burning and everything?
Yeah, but that,
that was on another tape. Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, they looked at it and decided there was nothing there. There was no
Yeah.
commentary. There was, we're just filming stuff.
Yeah.
And I
denial.
and I convinced him, like, we're just tourists, man. Do we look like journalists? I mean, come on. And he comes back and he gives the camera. He goes, all right, you go and don't come back here. You go and don't come back here.
What, back to the police station or back to where the...
No, leave the area. Leave the area completely. Anyway, we leave, and the taxi driver goes, oh, look, the police took my license, and I need to bribe them. So I need £100.
Oh, so the taxi driver came with you to the...
No, he was there. He
was waiting.
He was waiting. He
Oh.
couldn't move. He was still on the pavement by
no.
himself, sitting there.
Did he get his key back?
Yeah, he got his key back, and he got... He said, oh, they took my license. I can't work. I need to pay a bribe. And I don't have the money. Put this guilt trip on me, so I had to pull out £100, which isn't much, but like $30 or something.
Or what, £100 Egyptian?
Yeah. And so that was our first day of filming. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, man.
And how many days were you there in total?
We were 6 weeks.
Okay.
6 weeks.
And I remember in the documentary is called...
Pharaoh versus the Egyptians.
Yes. And where can we see... Because it was in film festival. It won awards as well.
Yeah, won awards.
Yeah.
And but the people... I thought it'd be a good ABC thing.
Yeah.
And they turned it down on the basis that there was a guy called Peter Cresta, who was a journalist who did get arrested, and this guy wrote back to me. He said, "No, we will not accept this because it might be offensive to our viewers." And
why would it be offensive?
He didn't go into details, and he says, and also in light of what happened to Peter Cresta. I go, what the fuck? This is supporting what Peter Cresta was fighting for.
So Peter Cresta went to Egypt.
He was reporting, and he got arrested for.
What happened to him?
He spent 2 years in prison.
Wow.
And he came out.
But why? But why is it? Why does it put him in a negative light?
Because he was doing an interview with the Muslim Brotherhood.
Right.
See, we did interviews with just the activists, young activists.
Right.
I mean, look, we could have got in trouble easily. We were very lucky.
Yeah.
But it was like looking back on it now, I go, what the fuck, man? I would never do. I'm too much of a I'm a real coward in real life.
But you didn't. Everything was happening so quick with that.
It was out of stupidity and being naive.
And what did your manager say about it?
My manager said about the doco.
Yeah, no, about you going over there to do this.
My manager every day says to me, "Why aren't you Carl Barron? Why can't you make me the money that Carl Barron makes me?" Every day I have to hear this. So he doesn't. he's a pragmatist, you know. He just says, "Why would you want to do it?" Before I went, he goes, "What did you?"
But this was a passion project, though, for you.
It was something I
go
really
into.
wanted to do. I learned a lot.
And
you know.
originally, I remember you telling me the concept was meant to be just you returning to Egypt, and
Yeah.
you were in front of the camera. But as it continued, you found a bigger story in what these young
Man,
people were talking about.
I was so
And
inspired.
So you selflessly took yourself out of the documentary. And,
Well, there was no
made
room
it
for
more
that.
Focused on them.
Yeah, like the average age is 22, 23.
Yeah.
These kids who just took risks with their lives and went online and organized protests and stuff. And you think, fuck, when I was 22, I was a complete fuckwit. And people would argue I'm still a complete fuckwit. But these kids were old enough to be my kids.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have kids, but, you know, age-wise.
Yeah.
And man, they put you to shame how much they know and how socially aware they are.
Yeah.
And how they want, you know, they're willing to sacrifice their comfort and their safety in order, you know, for the greater good.
Yeah.
And you go, man, you know, thinking back when I was that age,
Yeah.
I had no, I was, you know, self-centered.
Yeah, but
and-
the difference is you grew up in Australia. Had you have grown up in Egypt and of that age, you may have very well have been of that.
I don't know,
that
man.
ilk.
I don't know. I hope so, but I don't know. Like,
Well, I guess
these-
you don't know until you're into in that circumstance.
yeah.
You know.
And we talked to, you know, what's even more impressive is the kids that did a lot of work to organize rallies and protests and stuff who were not poor. They came from wealthy families, and with wealthy families are protected by the police.
Yeah.
And they're not, you know, harassed or they have a right to lawyers and stuff like that. So they had a lot more to lose.
Yeah. Sure.
You
sure.
know, they were comfortable.
And do they? I wonder what their family would have thought about.
They
Like
found- One guy was Ahmed Zidane, was a great guy. He took us around, introduced us to everybody. Sometimes it's all you need, a cool guy who's connected. He was 22-year-old doctor. He actually graduated as a doctor, but gave it up and became a online journalist. And his parents were so scared. They actually said, if you're going to keep going, you have to move out of home.
Yeah,
Because
right.
you're bringing.
They don't want that attention on the family.
Well, it's danger. You know,
Yeah.
you're bringing danger to. We could easily get arrested. And if you grew up in that country, you know very well that anytime someone, you know, the secret police can come and collect you, and you can't go, well, I didn't do anything. Here, we'll see about that.
yeah. Now, what's happened now in Egypt after this Arab Spring? How?
Oh, it's quite complicated, but it's back. It's worse than it ever was.
Yeah.
Sadly, because
Yeah. Because like Mubarak ruled with an iron fist, but then
Yes.
you cut off the snake at the head, but then you've got all these other, you know.
yes, that snake, the bloody snake.
You've got all these other extreme.
Well, no, you see, when you have a dictator who has absolute power, they don't allow for opposition, or so when they go, they leave a vacuum.
Yeah.
There's no infrastructure for an opposition party or
Yeah.
someone with different views, or there's not the building blocks for democracy. There's only the military. He's like the people in the military. The guy at the top of the military runs the country.
Right.
And if you don't like it, get the fuck out.
You'll
You can't-
disappear.
Well, you'll disappear, or you leave. You know, you immigrate. That's why people immigrate. They go, fuck this. This is
But
scary.
it was good that you went and told this story, and you know brought some light to this.
I was
But-
impressed. I was impressed, and I felt bad. I thought, man, I've wasted my life. You got these kids in the prime of their youth.
Yeah, no, but you played a part in this by bringing their story, you
Yeah.
know, to the screen.
I never failed to be
You know,
impressed.
but that's, you know, within doing that, you played your part within.
Yeah,
Within.
but some of them got arrested and rearrested and rearrested and beaten and kicked and beaten, like whipped with hoses and stuff, and they got all these marks on them, and they kept going back, and they had no fear.
Yeah.
And they all had one thing in common. They said, "Look, we were ready to die. If
Yeah.
we were going to die, we'll die. So be it. But it's for the greater good. So you know, this next generation would have a better life. That's very noble.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
it is.
I was playing pinball machine, 22, and smoking pot, and you know, try to buy Ribald magazines and shit. You know, you go, fuck, these guys are really. But sometimes when you live under, a harsh sort of environment, you grow up.
Yeah, you grow up quick, and
you have a sense of duty and a sense of what is right, and
Yes.
and look at the big picture. And
well, it's good that you've documented that. Where can we see this documentary?
my house.
Yeah.
Come to my place and I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just bring a bottle of something when
Okay.
you always come in empty-handed.
Well, I will return with a bottle of Perrier water.
Perrier water.
The bubbly.
Not affiliated to the Egyptian government in any way.
No.
It's French, in fact.
Yes. And you can make some fool.
Yeah. I can.
I like fool.
I can cook some very good Egyptian food.
Yeah.
I'll treat you.
Okay,
You and
excellent.
your lovely wife.
Yes, Erica and I can come over and
You shall be my guests.
excellent.
Bring on the dancing girls. Dance. No,
Well,
that's a stereotype, isn't it?
But this is great, mate. I
It's a
was
serious podcast.
No, but I was interested to hear this. Hear about your culture.
Yeah.
And the part that you played in returning there.
I lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because I thought they're gonna lap this up. This
Yeah.
is such a good story, and no one was interested. It cost me a lot of. I borrowed money off my mortgage, which was, and I thought, and Artie, my manager, said,
Yeah.
"I told you, why don't you just wait? You could have got a grant.
Yeah.
Why can't you be more like Carl Barrett? Be Carl. You the same height as Carl, but you make 1% of the money. What's with that?"
Well, you've got a lot more left in you. You know, we were talking
Yes.
last night about.
I'm mostly from the left.
Writing a feature film.
Yeah.
So I look forward to you've conquered stand up.
Conquered. I wouldn't say conquered.
Documentaries.
Yeah.
You have done feature films.
You know the thing is, Joel, I was watching an interview with Paul McCartney and Colbert. Mm-hmm. He had him on as a guest, and they went through his list of just his catalogue. And I felt like, what? I've done nothing. You see, I keep there's a pattern here, right?
Yeah, but I think
I've done nothing. I haven't written one number one.
But imagine you were a musician.
If I'd even written "Hey Jude," just "Hey Jude," that would have been fine.
Yeah. But you can't. He's like, imagine the amount of musicians that would play in pubs and just think, what have I done compared to Paul McCartney?
That's right. No, I mean, you can say that with anyone in the world.
John Lennon, though, you played Norwegian Wood before the beginning. You opened this podcast with your rendition of Norwegian Wood.
Well, when John Lennon, before he died, I sent him this. I said, maybe I'll just a riff, just mucking around with it, see what you can do with it.
I know you got this album, Rubber Soul, coming out. Maybe you're a song short.
You maybe a song
Give
short.
Give this one a whirl.
See what you could do with it.
Yeah, well, he did something with it.
Didn't thank me.
So, look.
You know why he didn't thank me?
Why?
Because that never happened. When he wrote Norwegian Wood, I was about 6. Yeah. But no, look, life is interesting. It's exciting.
And especially in these days.
These days, unpredictable.
Yeah. Well, we will find out, in a couple of months, what's going to be happening in America.
Civil War, maybe. Could be interesting. A bit of the Netflix.
Yeah.
Watch the Civil War. Let's see what's the Civil War. What's happening? Oh. They can record it.
Well, we've got that to look forward to checking out.
Well,
Mr. Saleh, this has been an insightful conversation.
Yes, it was mostly about me.
Yes, well,
you're very selfless with these things.
But I like to ask questions of you and let you run.
Just like the police.
I'm genuinely interested in,
Bit of a slow burn that one.
I like that. Though.
No, look, it's
Well, next podcast you can ask me some questions and I'll
I got a lot of questions to ask you.
All right. Well, let's get into it.
Yes.
Into it. Well, until then.
Until then, my friend.
All right.
Who knows what the future holds?
Yes.
You cannot predict the future.
Well, we can talk about the future on the next podcast.
What did your grandfather used to say?
The future's not what it used to be. Yeah, that would keep me up at night.
Well, yeah, he was senile.
Yes.
Yeah, they had to put him away.
Yeah.
Understandable. Lovely guy, though. Lovely.
Beautiful.
Guy. Didn't make any sense.
No.
Lovely.
But a beautiful man.
Played the accordion.
He did.
Well, it's. I think we should do this again soon.
We will, Saleh. It's been fun.
thank you. Thank you for being you.
And thank you for being Akmal Saleh.
I have no other choice.
No.
Everyone else is taken.
Yeah.
That's not my line. That's someone else.
Well, look, there we go.
That's our time's up. Well, I hope people have you seen any of the feedback on this podcast that we're doing? Maybe we're just talking to ourselves, which is fine.
Yeah, no, I looked at I did look at some a while ago, and it was all positive, which was
rare.
Which was rare.
Yeah, but everyone's got to have. You see these things on YouTube. You got guys. He's teaching her to make jelly.
I think the people that are listening to us genuinely want to listen.
Yeah,
so I think it's or watching. I think it's
We don't force people.
No. Oh, that's us.
That's us. We have to go. I left my car on a towaway zone.
Okay.
I better go.
All right, until then.
All right. See ya.